Top 10 games that do one thing better than anyone else.
Have you ever been disrespected?
In the world of video games, there are titles that simply do one thing so well that no other game can compare. From heart-pounding action to world-class mechanics, these games stand out for excelling in a specific aspect, leaving every player who experiences them in awe. Let's dive into the top 10 games that take something familiar and elevate it to a whole new level. You might think you know these games, but get ready to be reminded of just how great they really are. So, are you ready to discover the top 10 games that do one thing better than anyone else? Let's find out together. There's something almost visceral about sailing the high seas in Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. It's not just the wind in your hair or the salt in the air, it's the sheer power you feel as the captain of a pirate ship. The world isn't just an environment, it's a living, breathing entity. The waves crash against the sides of your vessel, and every battle is a test of your tactical mind and your nerves. Navigating through dangerous waters, calculating every cannonball you fire, and evading the relentless pursuit of enemies, it's a rush that no other pirate game has quite replicated. The magic of Black Flag is how it immerses you completely in the pirate fantasy. The feeling of commanding a ship, leading your crew, and engaging in brutal naval warfare, it's something that you can't get anywhere else. Every ship battle feels different thanks to the fluidity of the mechanics. You're not just shooting cannons, you're strategizing, calculating the perfect angles to strike while avoiding enemy fire. The thrill of taking down a massive ship, watching it sink into the abyss and feeling the weight of your victory. It's unforgettable. But it's not just the action, it's the world itself. The vibrant open world of Black Flag is alive, with possibility. From the hidden treasures scattered across islands to the bustling ports filled with life, every moment spent in this world feels earned. It's more than a game, it's an adventure. And even now, over a decade later, no other pirate game has come close to replicating the depth and immersion that Black Flag offers. The legacy of this game isn't just in its mechanics, but in the way it made you feel truly alive as a pirate on the open sea. Metal Gear Solid The Phantom Pain isn't just a game, it's a masterclass in movement mechanics. From the moment you step into the shoes of Big Boss, every action feels effortless yet deliberate. The way he crouches, rolls, dives, and transitions between stances is so smooth, it almost becomes a second nature. Every motion flows seamlessly into the next, creating a rhythm that feels as organic as the real world. It's not just about pushing buttons, it's about controlling the body like an extension of your own. What truly sets this game apart is its attention to detail in movement. Every action is carefully crafted to feel real. Whether you're sliding across the floor under cover, crawling, through tall grass, or sprinting across open ground, it's all handled with such precision that it becomes a dance. Unlike most games where you might feel stiff or awkward in certain positions, Phantom Pain makes each movement feel natural, like you're inhabiting the body of a living, breathing soldier in a vast, hostile world. The vast open world of Metal Gear Solid V is filled with obstacles, terrain, and enemies that require strategic movement. The fluidity of the game's mechanics allows you to feel free to choose how you want to approach a mission. Want to sneak by unnoticed? You can do that. Want to dive into the action with a full-on assault? That's on the table too. The game's movement system doesn't just enable these options, it encourages them. The beauty of Phantom Pain lies in the fact that every movement, whether it's a stealthy crawl or an all-out sprint, feels deliberate, impactful, and perfectly executed. It's a level of control that has yet to be matched by any other third-person action game. Imagine driving through the chaotic streets of Los Santos, and with just a simple button press, you're instantly zooming across the city, switching from one protagonist to another. Grand Theft Auto Vias didn't just create a world, it crafted a living, breathing universe where you could jump from the actions of one character to another in real time with zero loading screens. It was a game changer. A leap in technology that made you feel like you were living multiple lives at once, each with its own story unfolding around you. This seamless character switching mechanic wasn't just a technical marvel, it was a masterstroke in immersion. You're not just swapping between characters through a menu. You're thrust into the middle of each of their lives, without a break in the action. Whether you're switching from Michael in a high-speed chase to Franklin on a rooftop sniper perch, or Trevor causing chaos in the desert, the transition is instant and feels completely natural. The world around you doesn't freeze. It keeps moving. That's the genius of it. Every character is not just a menu option, but a living part of a dynamic world that's constantly changing. Even in 2023, few games have come close to matching the fluidity and depth of character switching in GTA 5. Sure, newer games can switch between characters faster, but the level of detail, immersion, and unpredictability of these transitions is unmatched. The true brilliance lies in how the game allows you to seamlessly feel like you're living in a constantly evolving real-time world. Each decision you make as one character ripples across the actions of others. It's a living, breathing story where your choices don't just matter, they define the narrative. Until GTA 6 comes around, this feature remains untouchable. When you think of Resident Evil 4, it's easy to get lost in the memories of its intense, heart-pounding gameplay. But there's one aspect of the game that stands out. One that you may not even realize you remember so vividly. The reload. Animations. You know the ones, the crisp cinematic reloads that turn something as simple as reloading a gun into a moment of pure satisfaction. No other game has managed to make reloading feel so important. It's not just a mechanic. It's a highlight of the experience, and Re4 nailed it. The Red 9, with its smooth, deliberate action as you slam a new magazine into place, feels like a calculated move in a high-stakes battle. The Broken Butterflies reload, where Leon flicks the spent cartridge away and effortlessly rams a fresh bullet into the chamber, is nothing short of cinematic. These aren't just functional animations. They're moments that make you feel like the protagonist in an action film, cool, calm, and in control, even when the odds are stacked against you, and while the Resident Evil 4 remake enhanced many aspects of the game, including visuals and mechanics. It's hard to deny that the original reload animations still stand as a benchmark for the industry. They've never been replicated with the same weight, precision, and cinematic quality. Every reload is like a statement, a reminder that even the smallest details in a game can have a massive impact on how it feels to play. It's more than just reloading a weapon. It's about creating a rhythm, a beat in the action that's so satisfying, it's almost addictive. And as you slam that last round into the chamber, you know, you're ready for whatever's next. No other game has managed to capture that feeling quite like Resident Evil 4 itself. When Sifu hit the gaming world, it didn't just introduce martial arts combat, it redefined it. It's not your typical fighting game where you mash buttons and watch your character do some flashy moves. No, Sifu forces you to feel every fight, every strike, every counter, in a way no other game has ever made you feel. The combat system is brutally challenging, yet incredibly rewarding, and mastering it is an experience in itself. When you finally execute that perfect sequence of moves, it's like stepping out of a martial arts film. You're not just playing a game, you're living the fight. What makes Sifu so unique isn't just the complexity of the mechanics, but the way it immerses you in the struggle of becoming a true martial artist. At first, you'll be clumsy, struggling to pull off combos and getting knocked down by even the smallest mistake. But as you continue, replaying sections over and over, something amazing happens. You get better. You start to anticipate the enemies' moves, your reactions become faster, and you begin to feel like a true master. It's a game that demands patience, precision, and resilience, but the payoff is worth every second. The beauty of Sifu lies in its fluidity. Every punch, kick, and block flows into the next, creating a seamless cinematic experience that makes each battle feel like an epic showdown. The animations are flawless, and the timing of each movement is so well executed it almost feels like the game is teaching you martial arts in real life. The sense of power you feel when you land that perfect combo, especially after countless attempts, makes every struggle worth it. It's not just about winning, it's about growth, mastery, and feeling like a true martial artist. Destruction in video games has been around for years, but TearDown pushes it beyond anything we've seen before. It's not just about watching things explode or crumble. It's about the careful, calculated destruction of environments using the laws of physics. Every brick, beam, and wall reacts differently, and that's what sets TearDown apart. The game doesn't just give you tools to wreak havoc, it challenges you to think strategically about how to bring down an entire structure. The magic of TearDown lies in its attention to detail. Every object in the game isn't just there to be destroyed. It's there to be interacted with in unique ways. Want to blow up a wall? Sure, but first you'll need to consider how the surrounding materials will react. The smoke, the water, the debris, they all play a role in how the destruction unfolds, and that level of depth is staggering. It's like a puzzle wrapped in chaos, where every piece fits perfectly in its own destructive symphony. But what truly makes TearDown shine isn't just the sheer scale of the destruction, it's the feeling of it. When you take down a building, it's not a moment of empty spectacle, it's an experience. You can almost feel the ground shaking beneath your feet as walls crumble and debris rains down. The way the game integrates physics into every moment of destruction makes it feel real, not just a flashy distraction. It's the kind of destruction that makes you appreciate the world you're breaking down, as if you're peeling away layers of reality. This isn't just physics-based destruction at its finest. This is gaming at its most mind-blowing. If you've ever wished for a game that combines the thrill of close combat with the depth of strategy, then Freedom Fighters is exactly what you've been waiting for. This third-person strategy hybrid takes the best of both worlds, giving you the raw, adrenaline-pumping action of a shooter, while also letting you control a squad with tactical precision. You're not a superhuman hero. You're an ordinary person, thrown into extraordinary circumstances, leading a rebellion against an oppressive regime. The beauty of Freedom Fighters lies in how it keeps you grounded while offering you the tools of a military commander. Unlike many games that get bogged down in complicated menus and excessive systems, Freedom Fighters keeps things simple. The controls are intuitive, and you're never lost in a sea of options. You issue commands to your squad, whether it's advancing, holding positions, or flanking, and they follow through with precision. The action never feels disconnected from the strategy, making every mission feel like an organic dance between combat and command. There's no steep learning curve, just immediate fun with real stakes. The game's true genius is in how it balances the thrill of direct action with the deeper strategy of leading a resistance. Every mission you undertake requires a mix of quick thinking and calculated decision-making. You can storm through the streets guns blazing, or you can sneak around carefully positioning your squad to take down the enemy without firing a single shot. This blend of tactical depth and personal action creates an experience that's not just fun, it's incredibly satisfying. Freedom Fighters gives you just enough freedom to explore different strategies, all while keeping you immersed in the heart of the action. You've played dragon-themed games, but have you ever truly ridden one? Draken, the Order of the Flame, brings that fantasy to life in ways few games even attempt. Unlike other titles where dragons are relegated to being distant enemies or mere side characters, Draken lets you take the reins and experience what it's like to be the dragon, flying across expansive, breathtaking landscapes, soaring through clouds, and engaging in high-speed aerial combat. It's an experience that feels more like living a fantasy than simply playing a game. The sense of freedom you get from controlling the dragon is unlike anything you'll find in other games. It's not bound by rails or linear paths. There's no on-rails flight here. Draken offers open skies, where the wind rushes past you as you twist and turn in the air, chasing down enemies or simply exploring the vast world below. The integration of the dragon into the gameplay feels natural, like it's a part of you rather than just a vehicle. Every takeoff feels exhilarating, every landing smooth, and every battle intense. The thrill of diving toward the ground at breakneck speed and pulling up just in time to engage in an aerial dogfight is a feeling like no other. For those who have dreamed of flying on the back of a dragon, Draken is the game that makes that dream a reality. There's no other game that captures the pure, unadulterated freedom of dragon riding in such a seamless, immersive way. It's a flight experience so engaging, you'll forget you're playing a game at all. In the world of Draken, you're not just controlling a dragon, you are the dragon. Parkour has been a popular feature in video games for years, but no game has captured the true essence of free running like Mirror's Edge. From the moment you step into the shoes of Faith, the protagonist, the game's controls pull you in. They are responsive, fluid, and deceptively simple, yet there's a depth to them that makes every jump, wall run, and leap feel incredibly real. You're not just navigating through levels, you're living a high-speed chase across the city, feeling the wind rush past you as you dart from rooftop to rooftop. What truly sets Mirror's Edge apart is the sensation it creates. While many games attempt parkour, few make it feel like you're actually performing those feats. The game strikes a perfect balance between realism and fun, where every movement feels natural, almost like an extension of your body. When you leap from one building to another, the controls have such a precision that you feel as though you're truly the one making that jump. Every wall run feels like you're defying gravity, and every flip or roll upon landing feels earned. The beauty of Mirror's Edge lies not only in its unique gameplay mechanics, but in how it immerses you in its world. The feeling of free running, of defying the laws of physics, is unmatched. Even years after its release, no game has quite been able to replicate that exhilarating sensation of jumping between skyscrapers. The minimalist style, the bright visuals, contrasting with the sleek urban environment, it all adds to the thrill, making it a visceral, unforgettable experience. It's not just about movement, it's about living the movement and Mirror's Edge does it better than any other game. There's an undeniable thrill in calling for an airstrike in Mercenaries, Playground of Destruction. The moment you summon military support, you instantly feel the surge of power. Forget about simple rockets or explosives. This is the real deal. Whether you're calling in an AC-130 to rain down firepower from above or unleashing guided missiles to obliterate an entire base, the variety of military support at your disposal is nothing short of staggering. Every strike feels like a game-changing moment, and the chaos it unleashes is pure adrenaline. What makes the airstrike system in Mercenaries truly unique is how intuitive and accessible it is. You don't have to sift through complex menus or wait for a long build-up before the action hits. It's all right there at your fingertips, ready to be deployed whenever you see fit. Want to wipe out a group of enemies? One press of a button, and an aerial assault tears them apart. The simplicity of this system makes it feel fluid, seamless, and incredibly satisfying. You're not stuck waiting for scripted sequences. Every moment you're in control, and every call for air support brings the destruction that you decide. This mechanic taps into the ultimate power fantasy no other game has managed to make. Calling in military support feel as immersive and exciting. The sheer freedom to create chaos on such a massive scale, whenever and however you want, is unmatched. Whether you're leveling entire cities or taking down powerful foes, the ability to unleash hell on your enemies with the press of a button will never get old. Mercenaries offers a gameplay experience that's as satisfying as it is empowering, making every mission feel like an epic, destructive thrill ride.